What's happening, everyone? Nicky Hawkins here. The morning after the game before, Leicester 2, West Ham 2. And I'll be honest, you got to say, we got away with one there. I thought Leicester were a better team. Where do I start? Lots of controversy again. Everyone talking about it again. Kurt Zouma pulling out before the kick-off. I mean, I've seen some people on TalkSport saying he's bottled it. He's, making all sorts of presumptions. Maybe he was just ill, lads, eh? Let's give him the benefit of the doubt. Then they're saying he's going to be playing against Newcastle and they're outraged by that. Blah, blah, blah. It is what it is. You just got to deal with that sort of shit. And, anything to do with West Ham, it's always going to be... It's always going to be on the headlines, I'm afraid. I do apologise. This is more like the afternoon, the game before. I've had some personal issues to deal with, so I do apologise for being late. Started the game really well, and one of the things that I picked up on, I tweeted out before the game that Zouma's gone off injured, and all of a sudden everyone's just acting like we've lost because Diop had to play, and he was our man of the match. He was absolutely supreme yesterday. I thought he was didn't stick a foot wrong. And he set up the first for that man, Jared Bowen, on fire still. Got to be in the England setup. I'll be very, very surprised if he isn't in the England team. The next England squad come whenever it is. I think it's March. Be very, very surprised. He's the player in form at the moment. And he's got to be, because Mickey Antonio... And do you know what? I see a lot of criticism about Mickey Antonio. I think he scored something like 4 goals in 22 games or something, or 1 in 22. Something ridiculous like that. And I feel so sorry for him. He was our main talisman last year. He's putting in shifts, but when he's getting flogged week in, week out, and he's had injury troubles in the past, he's getting on a little bit. He's asked for competition and they just haven't given it to him. Again, he's getting pelters about his performances, but this was always going to happen. And this is why you have to have backups. Loss of form, loss of confidence, when you need to take your time out, when the form ain't coming, and you're playing. And I didn't think he had the worst game yesterday, but in front of goal, very isolated. For some reason, we keep on trying to get these balls out to the edge of the box and cross them in, and it just doesn't work for us. And the first goal proved that we can play down the middle. It was over the top through ball. It was a brilliant ball by Diop, and Bowen took it beautifully, slotted it away. A lot of work to do. But from then, again, we didn't really apply the pressure, and we could have, because they're out of form, Leicester. They're a good team. Like, anyone that says they're not a good side is mad. But you have to play a certain way. When you're on top, you have to, make it count. And again, we didn't do that. We sat back, soaked up the pressure, and eventually we soaked it up quite well up until like the 38th, 39th minute, whenever the penalty was. Aaron Cresswell, I think he's just lost flight of the ball there. He's jumped up, his elbows up. He's just lost flight of the ball. A moment of madness, and it gets him back in at the break on level terms. And from then, I think it was all Leicester, to be honest with you. I've got to say that goal from Ricardo was a brilliant header. And of course, it's his first goal since he scored against West Ham. Of course it is. It's just standard, isn't it? But that was a great header and it's a great finish. Cresswell, I thought, could have done a bit better. But, I think I'm clutching at straws a little bit there. It was just, good bit of play, good header. Soufal, not the best game yesterday. I don't know what he's doing when he's inviting Barnes on, standing square on, letting Barnes dictate the play, and he got hauled off for Fredericks. And when you've got Ryan Fredericks coming on, it just shows how thin our squad is, because he wasn't much better when he came on. He's just got a little bit more pace. But Soufal had a torrid afternoon against Harvey Barnes. Harvey Barnes is a fantastic player, don't get me wrong. But I think he was letting him dictate the play, and he wasn't pushing him onto either foot. He was standing square on a lot. He was getting roasted down there, and he got dragged off. Souček, again, not the greatest game. I know that there's contract issues with Souček. Maybe that's playing on his mind a little bit. He's wanting a bigger deal and thinking about leaving. If he keeps on putting in performances like that, I think it may be time for him to leave, unfortunately. isn't working out there. But all in all, a good point away from home. You've got to say any point away from home in the Premier League is a good game, a good point, sorry. You take it game by game. A lot of people drop points yesterday. It is a little bit of a lost opportunity to try and distance ourselves and get some more points on the ball. But we got a point, and others didn't get points. Dawson with a very controversial goal. Did it hit his sleeve? Did it not hit his sleeve? They was talking about it over and over and over again. At the end of the day, it's the end result that counts. And he got it given for him. Did come off of his arm, but what part of his arm? I don't know why this stupid handball rule has been changed. It used to be elbow, and above was legal, and anything below that was handball. Why have they changed it? It just leaves the rules open to interpretation again, controversy again. It's like they're begging for the controversy. But as I say, all in all, a good point away from home. We face Newcastle now, who are resurgent, but the news has come out today that Trippier has broken his foot. He's been the man in form for them. He's scored a couple of banging free kicks that have won them the games, but he won't be playing next week at the London Stadium, and that'll be a massive dent in their hopes. We need to pick up some points there. We've still got some tough games coming up, but look, it is what it is. We just have to try and get the points on the board, and see where we are come the end of the season. We're having a good season, and I just hope this Zouma stuff doesn't keep on rattling on, because it's getting a little bit ridiculous now. Look, I'm not condoning it. I'm not supporting what he's done. As I said, I've said my piece, but the club have taken a stance, and that is it. That's the end of the day. They've done what they think is the right thing. People were saying about morally, should it be done morally? You're talking to people that ain't got morals, running that football club. So don't be surprised. I don't know why everyone's so surprised, but we march on, and we go for the next game, Newcastle. We're going to be building up to that. Don't forget to check out, the podcast is being recorded tomorrow, so don't forget to check that out over on Patreon. The last week's episode and the week before that's episode, they'll all be available always on Patreon, full episodes on there. So yeah, sign yourself up for Patreon. Link is in the description down below if you want to see more content from us. But after a good point, I'll bid you farewell. One thing left to say: come on, you irons.